Welcome to Elevink's Monthly Connect. These sessions were created to spark action and connect Elevink's ecosystem. Today, we are honored to welcome an expert on the topic of how can a strategic board help your professional growth. Welcome, Jackie Bouvier, President of Hispanic Colorado Chapter. Thank you so much for joining us today, Jackie.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor. I feel honored, and it's a pleasure to be able to talk about my opportunity of learning what I do in Hispanic as a board of director.
Yes, at Elevink, we have a lot of interest in regards to strategic board roles. And what a better person like you who can share with the audience about the career path or the opportunities that you have taken that have led you to this position as the president of Hispanica. But before we get started, tell us about yourself. Tell us about Jackie. What is your background? What is one challenge that you have overcome? Where are you from? Where's your family? Just please enlighten us with information about yourself.
Well, as you heard, my name is Jacqueline. I go by Jackie Bouvier, and my background is from Salvadorian descendants. My parents are both from El Salvador, Centro America. And I'm in Colorado, as you know, in Denver, the Littleton area in Colorado. I have a 20-year-old almost, she'll be 20 in October, a 4-year-old and a 1-year-old. So I'm busy on that personal side, and I have an amazing husband, and we have a great team, and we're able to lead our consulting agency and helping support nonprofit churches and small businesses, as well as being able to be there for bigger and larger mid-sized organizations. I'm also executive director of the Santa Fe Business Improvement District. It's an improvement district where we have streetscape and, art walks, First Fridays. And so it's been awesome. It's been a great opportunity. So we keep pretty busy on this side of.
For those people in the audience who may not necessarily be as intimately aware about the different roles within a board, can you share what are some of the typical roles within a board? What do they do and what are responsible for?
Sure. So it all depends. So one of the things that I do is I consult in that area for nonprofits, specifically the Hispanic leaders in Colorado that are starting their nonprofits. And we go over roles and responsibilities, board roles, and they're not always the same. However, if you are getting a 501c3 through the IRS, they do require that you have a president, a vice president, and a secretary, right? Wait, no, not a vice. I'm sorry, that was wrong. A president, a treasurer, and a secretary. 3 to start the board, right? Depending on what it is. And then, you would incorporate a VP if you get larger or bigger. And then, depending on the different boards or who the board of directors is and what the vision and mission of the organization is, then you start strategically placing different board members. For example, marketing officers, in our case, membership officer, corporate relations officers, community officers, and then we have people that kind of go back and forth with membership and marketing to help us support those areas. Because as you know, marketing is a big one where we don't only market, but we have people that will do graphic design, people that will do our newsletter, and then those that help us with the events. So there's just different opportunities out there, depending on the mission and vision of the organization that you want to serve, and depending on yourself, right? Because I have seen people where they just want to sit on a board and just because there's an open seat, but it's very difficult when you don't have an alignment with the mission that organization provides, or if you don't have a passion for it, first, and second, if you don't understand what the goals are and what the position you're coming into is. So you would really need to see yourself and see what your expertise are. What do you bring to a board, right? A lot of times, if you're somebody that's a guru and SEO marketing, you would bring that to the board. You would help in that case and provide the opportunity. As the board members of Hispanica, we have 9 elected office board members and an appointed one, which is our treasurer. Thereafter, all the other board members are non-voting members, but they're still part of the team. They're still part of the board, and they're additional committee leaders that help us bring the vision to fruition and bring that mission to fruition, I should say, and make sure that we get to that place we want to be by the end of the year. So that, and then we go into the job descriptions depending on how we align our strategy for 2022, for example. And in our case, we have different pillars that we address. So there's, for example, I'll give you one example. There's a professional development pillar. So we want to make sure that during that and whenever that quarter hits, we're allowing ourselves the opportunity to provide the best we can to our members. But we're a member-based, Hispanic it's a member-based chapter and board nationwide. There's over 50 across the whole entire nation. And depending on the board you sit on, there are different, there's a corporate board, and then you've got the nonprofit sector board where it's just a nonprofit. So again, I would align myself with my vision, with my passions, and those expertise that I would bring to that board of directors.
Thank you. So besides having an expertise on a certain topic or different areas, what are some of the skills that are necessary to succeed as a board member? Because I think that the audience may think like, okay, I can bring the finance expertise, or I can bring, like you said, marketing expertise, but that's not it. I mean, if I already align to the vision of the organization, if I already have expertise that I can share, but then what are some additional skills that are necessary to succeed as a board member?
Sure. I think more than anything, key qualities, I guess I would talk about, right? That are good for a board member. Passion, deep interest in the mission of the organization, for sure. Another one would be vision and leadership, the ability to see the big picture and the courage to set direction to achieve the organization's mission. Stewardship would be another one. The integrity to serve the interest and pursue the goals of the organization, as well as the interest of the public and the organization's intended beneficiaries. Who do you serve, right? Who are your stakeholders? And knowledge of your constituents and operations and organization and management, whatever it is, the acumen that you provide. Diligence maybe would be another one. Dedication, commitment, and fulfilling your organization's goals. I have a few other ones that I can think of. Collegiality, possessing a sincere and respectful attitude towards colleagues and their views, having a talent to be able to listen actively and have discretion, maintain things confidential, have things that are discussed at the board of directors be confidential if they need to be, just to be an effective board member. There are so many other things, but I think that bringing that personal interest and expertise of the nonprofit, or bearing in mind those different items that I just mentioned, I think what would bring a huge impact to an organization, because like you said, we can do finance, we can do marketing, we can do we can be professional connectors and so on and so forth, and that can help. But the biggest thing is, once you sit at a boardroom and you're sitting there with different personalities of different people, and what do we bring? Do we bring respect to disagreement without personalizing a debate, or to avoid any paralysis or anything that can hinder or hold an organization back from making a decision? Or if we can ask questions that are open, or questions rather than accepting a status quo, and welcoming any information and advice. I think it's very important, because it's supposed to be diverse, I believe. In any case, it should be, because it's important to be able to understand things from different perspectives, and support board decisions as well. As professional staff or a person that is of a professional stature, I think that having an opportunity to support others' decisions and agreeing to disagree, that's a huge one, right? So a lot of emotional intelligence, I think, is very important when it comes to sitting on a board, and understanding that people come from different walks and paths, different backgrounds, but having that value of understanding of what each board member brings and how that comes together in a great synergy to be able to bring forth the mission of an organization is very important. At least that's the way I look at it. I value every board member, not only for their expertise, talents, or their acumen or their careers, but also for who they are, and what their dynamics brings, their synergy, their energy, and who they are and their personalities, because it always comes back to coming together and getting things done, right? I hope that answered your question.
Oh, yes, definitely did. So tell us a little bit about the process. And I understand that every board may be different, but what is the typical process? Is the position actually posted? Do people apply? Do they nominate themselves? Is there a selection committee? And then, are they onboarded? Tell us a little bit about the process. And then also, what is a typical time frame that a person will be on a roll, 18 to 24 months, you can just give us at a high level, understanding that every board is different.
Yeah. So for Hispanic, our process is very easy. When time comes around, it's 2 years, the term. You can nominate yourself to continue on the board, or if you want to be a part of the board. However, we do send out an email to all of our members, given the opportunity, providing them the opportunity to complete the nomination application. And we also nominate people that we've seen out there and we know that have a lot of what we are looking for to have that expertise. As I mentioned, all of that, long list I mentioned earlier, but it can go either way. Self-nominate, we nominate, or you nominate yourself according to the email you receive, and then you self-nominate. And then after that process, you will receive an email that provides you an opportunity to complete a platform. So in that platform, you have a few questions, and then in that questionnaire, you complete it, basically just letting us know why, who you are, and why you want to be a part of the board, and what you bring to the board, right? Just to see if our board members and the people voting, whichever, it's open to vote for everyone, can actually go in and see, I want to vote for this person, their platform's amazing. And so then the voting, after people turn in their platform, the voting is open and there's an email that's sent out and everyone starts voting. And so whether you are on the board or not, you can vote for that person. So you don't always get that position again on the board if we have a huge group of people that are amazing or trying to get on the board. But what we do is we always keep people as a big group because we have so much to do in Colorado. We keep our board of directors that vote, and then we have our different chairs or committee members that help us take this whole thing forward. And we always have a great succession plan so that whoever comes on board is quickly onboarded and can continue on where we left off.
Thank you. That was extremely helpful. So for our last question, what are the 3 to 5 steps that anyone who's listening to this podcast can take if they're interested in joining a local or national board? What are your recommendations?
Well, if someone's just never joined a board of directors before or any board, I say align with your passion, align with your mission. Where are you looking to serve? So for example, when I started as a member with Hispanic or Neshimba, I was just trying to find a family, una familia, right? I went to a few of the conferences and such, but when the opportunity came and that email was sent out, I nominated myself, and I was voted in on the board, and it was the biggest opportunity for me. I was excited. I had been on nonprofit faith-based boards before, but here I learned so much. I was just blown away, and I realized that it aligned with my passion and mission because in a time of need, I found that support and I found that opportunity to understand career after an MBA. I wanted to give back. So for me, that was just a natural move to serve the community by giving back and serve by being a board member, where a lot of Hispanic management, MBAs, and business owners and such and so on are being looking for what I was looking for at one time, or are at a different level where they're trying to connect or look for talent. So I love to find talent for people. So align with your passion and mission, and find a board that needs your expertise. Find an opportunity where you can provide and be valued for who you are. And a few other things, I guess I would say, find an opportunity on a board that values you and provides opportunity for growth. I love doing that for my board members. Any opportunity for growth, if someone loses a job or needs an opportunity, or someone's looking to be a speaker, I think that part of being a part of this board, at least in Colorado, is providing that opportunity for our board members to grow and have an opportunity to connect and find opportunities outside of Colorado as well. Because they're not only for me, they're for everyone. So like last year, we did Denver Startup Week, and there were able to speak and open up for other speakers. And I think that's amazing. And last, I would say, join organizations that align with your industry, that align with who you are, because in the long run, like in the end, you're just going to be passionate about who you are and know that whatever aligns with who you are and what you believe in, you will be so happy in that place.
Oh, thank you. That was very inspirational and at the same time informative. And that's exactly what we want to ensure that our audience takes from this session. That maybe they want to start somewhere small. Maybe it doesn't have to be something big, right? They can start at their own library, at a committee of their town that they're passionate about. And then from there on, they can realize, what are those strengths that they bring to the table, or those expertise and those skills. And they can start building up from there. Like, they don't need to think about it as this paramount, role that they have never encountered before. They can start where they are locally and then start to grow their network and their experience from there. Well, thank you so much. Do you have any closing remarks? And also share with your audience, where can people find you? What are your social media handlers? Where can people find you?
I can be found on LinkedIn, Jacqueline Bouvier, and I think it's the LinkedIn whole, the address / Jackie Martz. Martinez used to be my last name, but you can find me Jackie Martz, and same thing, Jacqueline Bouvier on Facebook, anywhere. And I just am happy to help in any way that I can. I'm happy to just answer any questions. And even if you're looking to, if it's at a different state and serve Colorado, I can tell you at least 3 boards here that are looking for board members. I mean, there's always a board out there looking for talent, and they're always trying to find help. And so I think that being on a board is like finding your right job. You can't feel that it's an additional job or additional work, but instead a complement to who you are. And I think that's very important, because when you serve, then it's not tedious, it's not work, it's not additional, it's more like passion work, I feel. And I think that if you can find that in anything that you do, and specifically now that we're speaking about boards, I think that would change your whole life and give you a sense of opportunity that's beyond what you can think. Thank you for this opportunity. I truly appreciate it.